Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Rongat and I love to talk about travel, career, and general life topics. If that sounds like your sort of thing, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more content. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how I get through my very long work days. So earlier this year and probably even more recently, I have talked quite a bit about work-life balance, about, just really living the best life possible with work. But y'all, the truth is, there have been some days where I have worked quite a bit. I've had a number of days this year where I've had to really pull some hours for work. And while it wasn't necessarily my preference, it is something I did. For me, I did it for multiple reasons. One, to get work done. Two, because I knew that my team, needed people to pitch in, different reasons, right? Just to kind of benefit either my team or benefit the work items that we were working on. But as a result, there were some days where I was online for 12 hours. I know there's even been 1 or 2 days where I've been online for like 14 hours plus. It can be a lot when you think about the 24 hours that you have in a day, plus like other things that you need to do for your life and for yourself. It definitely can be a lot to have to work those hours, but I wanted to share some of the tips and things that I've done along the way to make it a little bit more bearable. First things first, I'm a huge believer in making sure you are comfortable. So when I talk about comfort, I would really classify it into 2 areas. You have, of course, what you're wearing, like your clothing, and then you also have your work environment. When it comes to clothing, I generally try to, dress relaxed enough, but specifically on the days where I know I'm going to be working extensively, I really focus on what I'm wearing. I want to make sure I wear clothes that are loose, clothes that breathe well, clothes that allow me to, move around easily. I really focus on making sure that I wear things that are comfortable. And if I happen to have meetings on those days, I try to keep a blazer nearby or a jacket nearby, something that might not make it so obvious that I'm really dressed down on those days. And for those of you who are going into the office, I still would recommend trying to prioritize your comfort when you are getting dressed. But of course, keep in mind whatever the dress code is for your office space. So if you are meant to be business casual, still try your best to be business casual, but just maybe figure out which clothes or fabrics that you have that breathe better, that feel better, that move better, so that you know what to wear to feel comfortable. Second part of comfort is also your work environment. And so for me, this means that you need to make sure that you have the right work environment. Like if you're gonna be sitting at your desk, or if you're gonna be sitting at like a kitchen table or a dining table or island table, whatever it is, try to make sure that wherever you're gonna be sitting at is comfortable enough for you. If you have somewhere that's a little bit more comfortable than the location you probably normally work in, I would recommend checking out that location. And even with comfort, if you need to put your feet up, like if you need to grab like an ottoman or something just to prop your feet up so you feel more comfortable, like whatever it is that you need in your immediate environment to help your body feel comfortable, I think is extremely important to have. My second tip is to stay on top of your eating and hydration. I can be one of those people where I get so caught up in whatever it is I'm working on that I just zone out and can forget to get up for hours on end. But I've had to learn to get up, get something to eat, get something to drink. And it's extremely important because you need to make sure that you are hydrating your body. And then you want to make sure that you're feeding yourself because you need that source of fuel to continue to fuel your brain. And so one of the things that I really like to do to make it easy is I might just, start the morning off with breakfast before I'm really like diving deep into my work. And then I'll try to see like which meetings during the day I can grab a quick bite during. Or sometimes I might also take some snacks or, maybe take more than I plan on eating at one moment and just have it with me on my desk so that as I get hungry or maybe as I feel like eating something, I already have something with me. Once again, it's extremely important that you make sure that you are staying on top of your eating and hydration because that is how you're going to take care of your body. My next tip is to stay active. For those of us who work office jobs or desk jobs where we don't have to, move around a whole lot, it may feel like, oh, I'm letting my body relax and rest. But in reality, you should be moving. You should be getting your body to get some sort of motion in so that you are not so sedentary. Now, if you're working from the office, one of the things I've seen some people do is to hold walking meetings where literally they're meeting, but they're walking. Also, if maybe your workspace is equipped with like a standing desk, you can occasionally stand up, sit down, whatever it is. For some other people, they might have like an exercise ball at their desk, or one of those like step stool things that you can just kind of put your feet on at your desk. But I would really recommend finding ways to stay active. Now, if you are working from home and your setup allows for it, you could always take a call on a treadmill, exercise bike, any one of these like stationary equipment, of course, making sure that you can still participate on your call. And if you don't have the means or you don't have the space, another great thing you can literally just do is walk around. One of the things that I really like to do when I'm on calls where I can just listen in is literally take a walk around my neighborhood. I plan it for the duration of the call. When the call wraps, I'm back in my house. So there are ways to still get active in your workday and make good use of the time that you otherwise would probably spend at your desk sitting and just staring at a screen. Once again, I would not recommend doing these if you need to lead a call or you need to be actively paying attention because you're taking notes or whatever the case might be. But if it is a call where you're listening in, or if it's a call that, let's say, is just you and another person and you let the person know, I would definitely recommend using that time to be active. So another tip I have for getting through these long work days is to take breaks. And I feel that this tip, it kind of sounds wrong in the sense that if you're already working a really long day, you probably don't want to take a break and further extend that. But I do think it's important every once in a while to take a break. You don't want to feel burnt out. You want to be able to take a mental breather and focus on something else for a little bit. For me, the reason why I also like to take these breaks is that when I know that I have, a lot of work to do, or for whatever reason I'm going to be online for a long time, it allows me to be able to still build time in for personal things while making sure that I still get the work done. So I might say, all right, I've been online since 8 a.m. I'm going to stay online until maybe about 6. Give myself 2 hours to cook, to, do whatever personal stuff I need to do. And then I'll be back online by 8, work another few hours, and I'll be offline. Now, if you can take a break during the day, I think that would be good because it could allow you to focus on some specific items during the top half of the day and then focus on maybe some administrative tasks or things that you don't really need people's feedback on the later half or later portion of the day when you're working. Finally, my last tip is to set your environment for success. And so for me, when I am working, whether it's in the office or from home, especially during those times where it's like peak season or I know it's really busy, I really try to make sure that I limit the amount of clutter or distraction around me. And so this is terms of clutter of like actual things on my desk, actual things in my workspace, and also distraction from other people, right? So this is probably a time where I will probably put my AirPods in and not listen to anybody. This is probably the time where I probably will angle myself in a certain way so that, especially if I'm in the office, people know don't come and talk to me, I'm trying to work. But I do all those things because I want to make sure that I am getting myself to be as productive as possible. Because for me, it just feels that if I don't do those things, I'm not going to be super productive. And then this workday that already is going to be a long workday is going to just feel that much longer. And I don't want that. Another thing that I like to do, especially when I'm at home, is to maybe have some music playing, something that keeps me kind of mellow, that's going on in the background and that can help me keep track of where I'm at. So whatever it is that you need to do to set your environment for success, please make sure that you do so. Now, I know I just said that was my last tip, but I have a bonus one for y'all. It is to find balance and to communicate. My general philosophy is that if you are working way over the number of hours that was communicated to you, you need to have a conversation with someone. You may be working more hours maybe because you don't understand the content, or maybe it's just taking you longer, which, is one thing. But if you know that you are proficient, you know that you're doing what you ought to do, you understand what you need to understand, and you're still working way above what you have been told, that's time to start having a conversation with project leadership. So you working more than you should be working can be a sign of not enough people on the project, or could also be a sign of taking on too much work. There's a variety of things that it can be a sign of. And so it is important that you have a conversation with your project leadership to figure out what's going on, and also to really get a better idea of how long will this last. Generally for me, if I have an idea that we're in this busy season and this is maybe for the beginning of the year or for a few weeks or for a few months, it's a little bit easier to then plan my life around some of that work so that I can still maintain some version of a work-life balance. But if you don't know where the end is or there's no end in sight, for me, I think that's extremely unsustainable. So I would really recommend that if you are on a project or you're working on a team and you're working way more than was ever communicated to you, please make sure that you're having conversations and that you are following up with people to get the right answers that you need so you can make sure that you're still maintaining your work-life balance. Now, in the process of excelling and doing well at work, just remember to always make sure that you are finding your balance and that you are being a team player whenever you have the opportunity to, but do prioritize having a balance and making sure that you can take care of yourself while you take care of work. As always, please make sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel for more travel, career, and general living tips. See you next time.